Hello, world. It's Kathy Cato, the executive director of the Queens World Film Festival, and my trusty sidekick, Donald Preston. Cato is not going to join us for this segment because it is submission season. He is screening films. I'd like to say to the world, he is screening your work. We have work in from about 15 nations so far. It's very, very exciting, and we thank you for sharing your work with us. So it's going to be up to me to welcome you to this segment of the listening tour. And of course, I need to explain what is the listening tour. So it started in September as an experiment. We started gathering small groups of people together to talk about hope and resilience. And now we have 12 short videos that are finished and they're on our website. There's about, I think it's about 11 or 13 that are in the pipeline. And when we're all finished, they're going to live at the Queens Library in the Queens Memory Project. And the reason is that future generations, family members of the subjects and researchers are going to be able to look back and see where were we on March 19th, 2022. So we've been doing a lot of these live. We've done a few by remote, and we've done John Jay College. We've done the 5th grade at PS 69. We've done materials for the arts and Elmcor and everything in between. And so tonight with this segment, we're doing just a little bit something different. Zoom is a part of our life. Virtual and live hybrid is something that we're going to continue to experience for a while. So we've done 5 segments of something that we're calling a hopeful broadcast. And that brings people onto a Zoom room for us to talk about hope and resilience. Queens World Film Festival has the great fortune to work with incredible people and partners. And we're very excited tonight to bring on one of our partners tonight and one of their clients who is a strong intern here and who's very much part of the blood, and who will be leaving his thumbprint on everything when he leaves. So please welcome Patrick and Alex from RealWorks Media Makers.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Hey, Patrick, how are you?
Good, very good. Yeah,
very good.
It's really exciting to be here and to talk about these important subjects.
Well, I understand that you've been with the organization for a few short months, and I believe that you know our other guest, Alex. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
Great. In the world of Zoom, I can only see Patrick. So, Alex, I am certain that you are here, correct?
I am here.
Excellent. Well, you know what? It's only taken me almost 2.5 years, and I just figured out how to go to gallery view. So, we're all excited over here. We're going to do it just a little bit different than we had differently. Is it different or differently?
Either way works.
We're going to change it up on this. We've done 5 of these Zoom broadcasts, and we've had people, and I've conducted the interviews, but I think it would be kind of interesting and exciting and a great opportunity for these 2 gentlemen to speak to each other directly. So after they introduce themselves, they're going to conduct the interview. So Alex, let's start with you. Why don't you just introduce yourself and tell us your history with the festival?
My name is Alexander Ortiz. I've been with the Queens World Film Festival since late February as an intern. And since I've started, I have hit the ground running, honestly, with project to project to project. I've worked on the listening tour that they've done with PS 69. I've shot many a thing, currently working on the Queens Chronicle and Sheraton event that we just recorded last week. And our next upcoming project is with Common Point. So that's going to be very exciting.
Okay, so Patrick, you have a very short history, but introduce yourself and tell us your history with Queens.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Patrick Quinn. I'm the CUNY Media Makers Internship Coordinator for RealWorks, and I work with CUNY students, over 100 CUNY students, getting them internships in the media and creative arts industry. This is my first really, foray into the festival, so I'm really excited to meet everyone. And I'm also a maker. I'm also an artist. I just finished a PhD in art and technology. So yeah, this is all relevant to my passion.
So thank you both for being here. So Alex knows the questions because he's been working with them. And really what we're doing with the listening tour is just creating a space for the person's opinion to live there without the necessity of anybody to insinuate themselves into that opinion by agreeing or disagreeing or complimenting them. I mean, it's really inbred in us, like we will compliment the other person on their thoughts, but it's really just about creating that space where the idea and your opinion are that. They're not a start to something. They're not the end of anything. It's where you are in response to the prompt. So I know it's hard to believe, but I'm going to mute myself. And I'm going to turn this over to you guys. I'll be watching and I'll come in when you guys are done. Have a good time.
All right, thank you.
All right, so Patrick, let's get started. How do you define hope?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think hope is the almost innate desire to change one's current conditions and future conditions, but it really extends outside the individual. It's wanting to change your community, wanting to change society on a very broad level. So like when you talk about hope, you can have these individual desires and then these collective desires, and it can be so granular and so massive. So, you know, I think in the context of hope, you also have to talk about scope. And yeah, it can be multifaceted in that way. You can have these small quotidian hopes and then these large goals for the rest of our lives. So that's how I would define hope. How about you, Alex?
Well, I'd have to say hope is just very plainly, it's optimism. You know, it is being able to want something for the greater good of either yourself or somebody else, for something that you're just very passionate about. Hope is assigned to things that are connected to our desires, to our wants. And that's the best part about hope, is that you can just, you know, it is a feeling that you will always have as long as you're, you know, just enveloped in it. If you don't have hope, you're not really striving for anything. But now I want to ask you, how do you define resilience?
Yeah, resilience is deeply interconnected with hope, because resilience is that endurance, that ability to get through things and to maintain that desire for a future, a change in one's current conditions, or collectively, like I said, you know. So it's the ability to get through things and to fight through the hardship of daily life, to come out the other side successful. And you know, without resilience, we can't have hope, and without hope, we can't have resilience. How do you define it?
I agree with you. I think that they are very hand in hand. If you have hope, you have to have resilience, because then it's just a wish. And if you have resilience without hope, then you're just aimlessly moving forward. And, you know, moving forward in theory is a good thing, but with no destination, you're not going to make an impact. So resilience is the strength, the drive to set your dreams in motion and to see them come to fruition, whether it's how you expected it or completely different than what you could have even imagined. And it's really, you know, beautiful, because you can see the resilience in so many people. So I want to know is, who's the most resilient person you know?
Yeah, that's a great question. I know a lot of resilient people. I'd have to say my parents, though. You know, they set a great example in terms of having setbacks or disappointments and fighting through and not giving up. That was really instilled in me from an early age, and that drive is something, you know, it can be, you're born with it maybe, but it's also developed over time, and you need those relevant examples of people that fight through things in order to get what they want and to change their current conditions and to improve the future. How about you, Alex?
I'm gonna say the same thing. I think we're on the same wave. My parents are, I think I'm the closest I've ever been with them right now, because, you know, I'm a new adult, you know, 19. This is all still not making any sense. They've been doing this for so long, through so many changes. And they've always been able to bounce back from whatever, whatever hardships they face, having a child so young and then still moving forward, to be in service to him.
Mhm.
And, in a sense, give up what you really want most for the person you now care about the most is honestly the strongest thing you can do. Is the most selfless thing you can do. And that takes a lot of resilience, a lot of strength, a lot of power to, look past yourself and plant seeds for somebody else.
Yeah.
But, all that can't be for nothing. So what do you hope for?
Yeah, I have a lot of professional goals and artistic, creative goals. I kind of have a habit of like writing things down and making a list and having short-term goals like 3 months from now, and then a year from now, and then 5 years from now. So I have a number of goals and I do kind of organize them in that way. But overall, I want to make an impact. I finished a PhD 15 months ago, and I want to make that, a dynamic degree that where I'm helping communities improve, but also contributing like lasting research. And then in terms of, creative goals, I have a number of projects I'm working on. I'm recording the sounds of bridges in New York City. So I hope to release something regarding that, like a sound installation or a standalone piece of music or field recordings. So just, yeah, continuing to do that. But then I have like very personal goals of just becoming a better person every year and making an impact and having my family be proud of me and my girlfriend be proud of me. So those are like near and dear to my heart, but I chart these out. I do have an Excel spreadsheet with all of these goals, and they're constantly being updated, and they're kind of metamorphosized into something else. So I think it's really important to always have that structure and set deadlines, set hard deadlines for some of your goals. Not to say that they can't come true if you don't get it done by such and such date, but hold yourself accountable so you can achieve what you need to achieve.
Yeah.
How about you?
Congrats on the PhD. That's amazing. That's awesome. Honestly, again, new adult, everything is transformative. So what I really hope for, I hope that all the things that I'm pursuing artistically can like become like what I want them to be, like as big as I want them to be. Crazy dreams. I really just want to inspire others as I've been inspired by artists from all different time periods. I've got idols that are still here that have passed, friends and family. I what I hope for is just showing people that there isn't just one path. You don't have to just walk down something just because somebody else said so. You should walk down the path that you really want, that you believe in, that even if it doesn't make sense now, by the end of it, you'll be thankful that you did. Because that's where I'm at. I started at one place. I wanted to be a cartoon artist, right? And now here I am making movies, making these little shorts that are so vulnerable and so thought provoking, such as what we're doing right now. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Great.
I'm really happy to be here.
And that actually triggers a thought I have too, is, you have to be able to be flexible. If you set out on a path and you have certain goals, allow them to evolve and change over time. You can evolve as a human being, and your goals can do the same.
Yeah, absolutely. It's okay to change.
I'm so glad that we chose to do it this way, because it was an opportunity for me, because as we know, everything is all about me, really. It was an opportunity for me to observe Alex having an exchange with somebody in the business about more than what time are you going to be here, and how are we doing on that, and what's this, and have you got your hours, have you done that? And I think, Patrick, this is happening because you guys, we wouldn't be doing this if Connor wasn't here. And you wouldn't be talking to Alex if you guys hadn't done what you did. So, and continue to do. And I for one, I really am kind of in awe of all of that.
Yeah,
So
it
thanks.
was. Yeah, it was great to have that conversation, and it, you know, it is thought provoking. Just even having a 15-minute conversation about hope and perseverance and resilience.
I do want to point out, Alex, that he has a spreadsheet.
I have a lot of spreadsheets.
We might have been separated at birth by a quarter of a century or more, but yes, spreadsheets are where it's at. So as we come around to the end on this, why don't you guys fill us in on, like, Alex told us a little bit about what he's working on at the festival, and Patrick, we know that there are spreadsheets to find out what you are working on, and you'll be sharing that link in the chat. What is something that you're working on that nobody knows about?
Okay. Alex, you want to take this first, or?
Oh, smooth, Patrick, smooth.
No?
Yeah. What am I working on? I'm currently writing. That's the new goal. That's the new old goal that I'm trying to pick up. I want to have my hand fused to a pen and paper at all times. I have so many ideas that I want to get out. Currently working on a bunch of poetry. Shocker. I'm trying to consolidate that into something. Hopefully that becomes a thing. Hopefully. Yeah. But yeah.
Great.
Patrick, what are you working on that nobody knows about?
Yeah. So my research I was doing was about walking, and how walking can be used as a critical tool and even an aesthetic practice. Back in 2019, I walked across Illinois. I'm from Chicago originally. And I walked from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan. And I raised money for supportive housing in Chicagoland. So I've been working on a project. I've been charting out a path, but back in the early 20th century, I think this was 1912, the suffragists walked from Van Cortlandt Park all the way to Albany with their message of votes for women. So I would like to retrace their steps and maybe do some kind of historical research along the way, and kind of a performative project, but also it could maybe take the shape of a book. So I'm really excited to do that maybe this summer. I get some vacation time.
I would love to introduce you to the folks at Henry Street, because as you know, Lillian Wald walked that walk.
Yeah.
And they have a small, beautiful interactive museum in her brownstone. I had the great fortune of being able to have an office in that building for a while. Oh my God. Yeah, we would love to. I just thank you so much, because in my great adventure, you guys have played an extremely important role, and forever we're linked together, because on March 19th, we were listening. So I appreciate it. And Alex, I believe that we're seeing you tomorrow. And Patrick, I will send you an email.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate the invite, and yeah, let's keep the conversation going.
Let's go. And we would be remiss if we did not say that for the first time ever, we've had an outside producer who was a former intern, I believe, of Media Makers Real Works, and his name is Connor McGovern, and he produced this series of 5 Zoom listening stops. And so we thank Connor and Alex. You rocked it. I'm super proud of you. And Patrick, I'm super appreciative of you.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.